In this video, we're going to look at another embellishment, which is called the grip, also known sometimes as the Lem-Lewis. So the grip is going to be created by doing two low Gs separated by a D grace note here. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you here, just the grip on its own. By convention, we tend to end the grip on E for the purpose of the scale, though you can end on really a lot of other notes on the top hand and both the bottom hand with the grip as well. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate for you the grip from low A to E. And also by convention, we typically will put a G grace note on the first note that we're doing the grip on. Okay, so let me go ahead and show that to you now. Okay, so just real quick to point out in the sheet music before we do the scale, the grace notes that we have in the grip and how the movement is notated in the music. So you'll see that the first grace note within the movement is a low G. So that's representing the first low G that you play as you go down to low G from whatever note you're coming from. Then you have the D grace note in the middle, which signifies that D grace note you're going to play between the low Gs, and then finally it ends with a low G there, which represents the low G that you stay on after you've done the D grace note, okay? And then finishing with E, again, for the purpose of the scale. All right, so one more thing to point out about how the grip is played, on the various notes of the scale, is that when you're doing the grip on D, you actually use a different grace note than you do on the other notes. So you're actually going to use this third finger here instead of the D grace note finger as the middle grace note of the movement. Okay, so let me show that to you in slow motion. And I'd like for you to practice on your own because this finger is not one that we normally use for grace notes in bagpipe music. And so it's going to be a little bit hard or a little bit awkward for you at first, but just through repetition, like anything else, it'll become more comfortable and more natural for you the more you do it. So let me show that to you in slow motion here. All right, so I'd like for you to try that a few times on your own before we go into the full scale. So let me go ahead and play the scale for you at 60 beats per minute. All right, so just some final thoughts about the grip. Really to make sure you're doing it properly, we want to hear that we are getting full closure of the low G with that grace note in between every time you do the grip. And we want to make sure that we're getting the separation between the low Gs with that grace note. If we're not hearing two solid low Gs, then we're not doing the grip properly, and we need to do it more slowly and make sure that we are getting that full coverage and getting that full separation between the two Gs. So thanks for watching, good luck with that, and I'll see you in the next one.